Well, now I want to introduce Kristin Kmeic, who, with her husband, owns 3DP Train, which is a 3D design and printing company. And if you remember, Kristin is going to be the host for our Petticoat Junction news segment on women in model railroading that we're going to start October the 19th. And also keep in mind that their company has offered a 10% discount for printing all of the bridge parts that Earl Hackett has shown you how to design with 3D software on our past shows. So Kristin, welcome. So nice to see you tonight.
Yep. My husband had to step out. He might be back. We have 6 children, so he was putting them to bed. So I'm just gonna briefly talk about how we got started. My husband got involved in trains very early on in his life. His dad did S-gauge trolleys and also did some American Flyer. So he was inundated with trains growing up. When we met, I didn't know about the trains. It was a surprise once we got married that he was into trains. Very early on, he really fell in love with the narrow gauge. And so a lot of what he designs is the narrow gauge stuff. When we got together, I had no idea anything about model trains or anything to do with it. So I just kind of watched him do what he was doing, and little by little I kind of got into it, and I caught the bug for scenery. And so that's kind of where I fell in love with the hobby, is doing all the scenery and coming up with different techniques. So he started designing models, and he found a company that was printing them through their service. And so he would design them and print them. And through that process, there was a button to click that you could have other people buy your models. And so he clicked the button and, not thinking anything of it, let it go. And a couple of years later, we got our first sale, and it kind of snowballed from there. Fast forward about 10 years now. He had a whole bunch of models, and when the company went through some redistribution and new management, and our prints doubled in price on the site. And at this point we had pretty steady customers, and so we looked at each other, we're like, are we going to let this fall apart, or are we going to bring the printers in-house? And so we decided to make the leap and buy our first printer and bring the 3D printing in-house. And our business kind of exploded from there. So now 3DP Train offers our print service to other people who are into modeling. So on our website, we have about 17 different vendors, and vendors are coming on board all the time now as well. We have new vendors, and that's kind of where we started. So I'm actually going to give you a quick tour of our brand spanking new, if I can figure this out, print room. In July, we actually, oh no, hold on, technical difficulties. All right, so this is our print room. So these are our first printers. These print on a build plate that is that large.
Kristin, try running your hand in front of the camera, because it's still defocused. Yeah.
Hold on. I think it's because I had a background. Hold on. Let me.
Yeah,
There we go.
Oh, the blur. That's what it was.
There we
okay.
go. All right.
There you go.
So these are three small printers. So this printer will print this tall, and anything that fits on this build plate. Then these are our washes, and then the cures are up here. We do have a small filament printer that's up there. It mainly runs like extra stuff. So we have printed the universal throttle boxes with it, which we sell, but also these are like to hold our build plates and things. So also industrial stuff for us. This is our giant printer. It is actually running a print. It's very anticlimactic because it prints upside down. So right now it's in the bed. We won't be able to see anything on this print for probably another, well, it's 1 day, 1 hour. So probably in about 18 hours, we'll be able to see something, but everybody asks us why we don't bring our printers to trade shows to show them. And this is why, because this is all it would do. This is a wash for that machine, because if you can see, the build plate for this one is the entire length, and it'll print all the way up to here. So it's about 18 inches by 12 inches by 8 inches. So it'll actually print like full, like helmets and things for people who are into cosplay. It prints full scale ON30 cars. This is going to be our workstation. It's still a work in progress. We've only been in here for about 3 weeks, so we're still in the process of cleaning and organizing and getting it done. But we actually have orders printed and shipped. We shipped our first order out earlier this week. So we're getting there. It's a slow process, but moving from Michigan to Tennessee was a big step. So we've been able to make that leap and, still produce things. So I think that's about it for us. We have been going to more trade shows. We're actually scheduled to go to Michigan in October. We're going to Mississippi in November. We're going to the National Narrow Gauge Show in Colorado, and we'll probably end up at the NMRA show in Texas. So big things coming from us, hopefully soon.
Anybody have any questions for Kristin? Kristin, I've got one.
Yes.
I've always looked at 3D printing as production on demand kind of reality. In other words, there's no point in having an inventory. Somebody orders a part, you put it on the printer and you print it. Is that right?
Yep. So we don't actually have an inventory. All of our products are print on demand. We ask for 14-day business days for lead time because we don't have anything on in stock. It just doesn't work that way. I believe we're up to about 200 different items on our website. So the idea of being able to come up with an inventory for that is just not feasible. What we do is at trade shows, we have displays. So if you give me 1 second, I will grab one of our displays. So all of our cars we print for our shows are in O scale or ON30. So they're pretty hefty. And we have them out for display. And then we have the ability to order right at the show. So people can order what they like and we'll ship it to them. We also bring what we called our boneyard. So we take customer service and customer satisfaction very highly. If something's not exactly perfect, we will put it in the boneyard and we will give it at a discount. So we had, I think, 5 Rubbermaid containers of all of these misprints, and some of them literally had like a dot that didn't print correctly in them, but literally would take 5 seconds to fix and paint and be a great model. We didn't want to sell it full price, so we put it in the boneyard. People were snatching them up at their last train show like hotcakes. So we have continued to do that now. So anytime we have a misprint, we just hold on to it and we sell them at our shows. So you can walk away from our table with something in your hand. It's just going to be a misprint at that point. But people have really enjoyed that hunt as well.
Let me ask you this. Can I order the boneyard on your website or online?
Not at this time, just because there's so many different things. We just have been putting those into a container to sell at shows.
I got you.
So,
Okay. Let me ask you this. If I wanted, you do complete model rail cars, right?
yes. So what you get from us is everything in the box. So the car, all of the detail parts, all the wires, and then you can add wheels, couplers, and thing all together.
Okay. What would, give me an idea, what a range maybe even, what would that cost me?
So depending on what car you want, I do know that our passenger cars in O scale, which are O and 30, I believe are $120.
Okay.
But it's an O and 30 car that you hold in your hands. And with that, you get all of the wire, all of the detail parts, everything you need to complete the kit for that car. So you do have things that are cheaper. Just depends on what you or what. The website is 3dptrain.com. I know I saw a question. Go on there, and you can search for rail cars. You can search by railroad. You can search by vendor. Anything that's Western Rails Company that's actually designed by us. We also have detail parts now that we're printing. So picnic tables, benches, barrels. What else we've got? A couple other things that are like detail parts that are really, people are really enjoying them as well. And we offer those from Z all the way up to O. So,
Kristin, if I wanted a rail car that you don't produce, and I said, here's some photographs of it, give me an idea of how, and I know it would vary on size and whether it's passenger, freight, or whatever. How much are we talking about for you to design and print it for me?
unfortunately, right now we have about a 3-year waiting list for commissions on cars. We get asked every single day to produce something new. And it's just me and my husband doing this. So we're hoping to add more people who want to design and want to join our team to get paid to design. And that's something that we actively are seeking. So if anybody wants to do that, let me know. Just shoot us an email from the website. But right now we can't really take commissions because we've just got a huge waiting list and backlog. So
it sounds like your company is very profitable and very successful, and I wish you the very best on it. And I'm really looking forward to you doing Petticoat Junction because if you've done this for your own company, I know you're going to make this a successful endeavor for the show. So thank you so much for being here this evening and for all of your help.
thank you.
By the way, I want to tell everybody, in addition to all of this, being the mom of 6 and going to the train shows and help running the company with her husband and so forth, Kristin's working on her MMR with the NMRA. So I wish you the best of luck with that and look forward to hearing about it from time to time. Thank you so much, Kristin.
Thank you.